Hello and welcome to Grease Mountain, the new YouTube channel where I'm going to be chucking all my stuff. Today I'm going to be showing the rig I've been making for a character for my game idea for next year. And in future videos I'll be going through the game idea itself. But for now I'm just going to do a quick little updatey dev boggy thing. It was either going to be Grease Mountain or like Dev Bog. Because a bog of devs is interesting imagery, but in terms of game development, I feel like a mountain of grease is just slightly more appropriate, at least for my own experience so far of the game development course. But nevertheless, I shall show you my ting. Here's this dude. He's naked, as you can see. That is not the final thing. I just really enjoy perfecting the anatomy before adding clothing, especially if like a main character. Like with other characters, you know, lesser characters in a game, you wouldn't be this scrupulous. But yeah, for this guy, because later down the line he might be able to wear different clothes and stuff like that. Yeah. Similar to that, the rig is unfinished, and also the geometry, so it's still a work in progress. I've been employing a lot newer, more advanced forms of rigging. So it's a lot of trial and error and seeing what works. For example, you can see his mouth and eyes are like kind of empty and open and stuff, and that's because I'm going to rig the face so he can smile and frown, and probably have a controller for his brow so he can furrow or lift it to express emotions like a human being does. Same with the weapon called a hackjaw. This weapon here is gonna have like so much crazy animation to it eventually. Firstly, it's gonna have like a spine rig to it, so it really kind of like flops about like a biological weapon. But eventually, it's gonna be mutating and coming out of his arm and shrinking back into it, because it's a game about biological transformations and stuff like that. And that's a whole new like tech which I need to learn. But I'm really interested in it. It's called Morph Targets, I think, or yeah. So a little bit on that quickly is like you kind of create different models that then you animate between. But for now, it's just like a static thing. I just parented it to the forearm joint. But yeah, this is pretty much the first animation test I've done with this rig, so I'll play that and just show off just a little attack. It's super shit. It's really slow as well, but I suppose that's interesting in being able to see that. But I'm pretty happy with it. Like there's a lot going on you can control with like the spine and stuff, especially. And just employing a lot of the rigging techniques I've learnt from the previous project as well. But yeah, that's basically it. Really quick one. It's gonna, it's quite strange going back to this level of quality, because like, at the end of the first game, I was able to produce videos containing more finished assets and stuff like that, and it's easy to feel more confident about those videos because obviously they're more finalized assets. But the thing is, uploading videos, like documenting your development, is inherently going to have unfinished stuff, and so it's just, yeah, kind of getting back into showing off early stuff like this. But even like it's interesting, like compared to the first videos I was showing of the early stuff of the previous game, like this is like so much more like I don't know, well done, even though the animation's like obviously shit. Like there's no fluidity to the transitions of poses. It's just kind of like, you know, testing it out, seeing if there's any particular problems with the rig so far. There's a couple I kind of noticed. Like, I'd like to be a little bit more deliberate with the rotation of the weapon. You kind of have to use the pole vector, which is that little arrow. I'll probably show. So like, the wrist control itself, in terms of rotation, only really affects like the hand kind of position, and it also uses IK to position it, but all the rest of the arm rotation is just in this. Nope, that's the that's the leg pole vector. Oopsie. Where's the arm one? Yeah, so the rest of the rotation kind of comes in, and I don't know, there's just some fine tuning and optimization to be done, because like if you can see, like the hand stays put when rotating, so you'd have to like readjust every time. Just figuring out. But yeah, the thing is, like, if you probably even do it now, like if you parented, well, obviously you want this to be T-pose and all of the controllers to have their positions like frozen and everything like that. But say if you did parent the wrist joint to the, although, wait, does it affect rotations? To be fair, that could be a way to go. And then obviously you can still, I don't know. It's very much just it's actually a very interesting idea, using a pole vector as the primary controller for an arm, compared to this one. It only does the direction that the elbow kind of faces, and all of the rest of the control comes through the hand kind of placement. But the beauty is, you can kind of like, the only information that really needs to be exported of these animations is the joints. Although now, like, because, so yeah, it's kind of crazy because like now, following more complex tutorials, because like I tried to follow this tutorial about like Spine IK like earlier on, and it was just too much for me. Like I got to a point where implementing like twist, advanced Spine IK and stuff, and I didn't realize that like you could employ like multiple joints on a rig, but not necessarily like skin all of the joints to the mesh. So like these joints here like aren't even skinned, and they won't be exported either, but they're just there to enable forward kinematics controls along with the inverse kinematics. But yeah, I just didn't. I thought like you would only really be able to you'd have to like export all the joints and skin all the joints to the mesh. So definitely a lot more doors are opening, and it just like having a bit of breathing room, because before working on the game, as less and less time is available, you kind of have to stick to what you know a bit more. But now, because this is the day after hand in, and personally, I didn't really feel like celebrating this weekend due to how the game ended up. So I just kind of been focusing on getting stuff done, getting my little game idea going, and just developing my skills with rigging, whilst modeling and world building and stuff. I think, yeah, it's definitely just it's a good way to just keep moving forward when you feel a bit upset about the previous game. Just focusing on, I won't get into it, but that's the first video for Grease Mountain. I hope you don't think my rig is too fucked, or it's not weight painted, hence all the artifacting on this part. But yeah, the actual, where's he at? No, wait. So yeah, that's the sculpt so far. Definitely a work in progress. Just really trying to figure out the anatomy before I start to smooth things out, particularly. Got a little hat on the go. And I'll get into more of the design and stuff like that, like in future stuff. Yeah. I hope everyone's game came out better than how I feel ours did, and look forward to working with people next year.